Avatar State, yip, out here representing the Arab nomads. Even though this video has nothing to do with Avatar Last Airbender, I just feel like I just need to say that. Anyway, this is a Patreon request for this year's 2023 the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and we're gonna talk about it on this episode of Movie Breakdowns. Now, the first half of the video is gonna be non-spoiler, and the back half is gonna be spoiler. But before I hop into it, if there's a review you want me to do, let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I'll get to it as best I can. I also have a Patreon, Zakka for $2 a month. You can get the review cut in front of everybody else. Get it out before it comes out on Facebook and YouTube. Now, let's go ahead and hop into today's episode of 2023 Super Mario Bros. It just got released in theaters. And you know what? What is this movie about? It's simple. Mario and Princess Peach teams up to face the evil Bowser and save Luigi. That is pretty much the gist of this movie in a nutshell. And the things I liked about this movie, I liked the colors of it, the animation of it, the story. Well, let's get the story later, but the color, animation, the design, the world building, everything about this movie when it comes to world and setting up places, the characters, not motivation, but the character likenesses. Like, Bowser is threatening. The Koopas are threatening. Like, it's not just things that, like, oh, you kind of like look at a Mario video game and kick and punch. You're like, no, these are threatening creatures and monsters are like taking over. You just can't take it lightly. I love how like Princess Peach is a capable fighter, you know, she is in video games, stuff like that, but she's a capable fighter and she does that in this movie as well. That Mario is a capable fighter and Luigi, his character, is a scaredy dude. I love that. As a video game fan and somebody who grew up with Mario, there is a bunch of references to the video games that are in this movie that you hear and see that are great. Like Luigi Mansion, which you see in the trailer, is in this movie. There's a hint of Luigi Mansion in this movie, which is cool. I think the opening Mario theme is in the trailer too. Like those little things. There's the music, I should say. Just talking about that. It's great as well, because talking about like the things references, there's a lot of video game reference music that either remade for today, or the start of it and you're like, I know that tune. Do 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 do. I know that tune. Do 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 do. I know that tune. Do 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 do. Like those tunes are in this movie and it's great. I love the movie as far as like the music score goes and the characters and who they are. Like Bowser legit felt like a very threatening character, and I was like, that's how Bowser should be. The trailer made it seem that way, and the movie just emphasized that he's not someone to mess with. Like those things I loved about this movie. I really did. The animation, and then there's scenes in the movie that harkens back, you know, always big reference to the video game. Even more, there's a side scroller scene at one point where Luigi and Mario are running through something, and there's like, it goes to side scroller view, or it shows like the video game view, and every video game from Mario is like referenced, is not touched upon in this movie, which also props to that. Just good stuff. Things that I didn't like. The cast, I was cool with the cast actually. That was one thing. I remember we first got the video back in December 2 years, like 2 years ago, something like that. And you hear like, this is Chris Pratt. He's really cool. Like,
who will be played by Chris Pratt. He's so cool.
And you're like, but then like Charlie Day is Luigi and Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, and you're like Keegan Michael Key as Toad, and you're just kind of like, Anna Joy Taylor. Like when you hear the cast, you're like, oh, that makes sense. I can see that. Charlie Day is Luigi. Okay, but when it came to some voice acting in this movie, Charlie Day was the only one that like sounded like Charlie Day, and then of course Seth Rogen sounded like Donkey Kong. But like Chris Pratt was doing his hard not to sound like not to sound like his other Chris Pratt characters. He actually did sound like Mario for me in this movie, and I feel like over time we'll get used to Mario and Chris Pratt's voice together. Look, Charlie Day and Luigi, it just sounded like Charlie Day in this movie. It didn't sound like Luigi or anything like that, and which these characters don't speak that often, so it's not that big of a deal. But when you listen to the character's voice, you're like, that is definitely Luigi. I guess you can say the same thing for Darth Vader and Mufasa. When you hear Darth Vader speak, you're like, oh, that's Mufasa. Or you hear Mufasa speak, like, that's Darth Vader. So I do get it with with the characters and the actors not changing their voice to match a character. But at the same time, like when you listen to Kevin Hart character, Kevin Hart sounds like all his characters in the movie, and so does The Rock. They sound like they don't change their character voices up when they do characters. It's just them playing that character, and that's why I feel like Charlie Day was just playing Charlie Day. And then with Donkey Kong, I feel like Seth Rogen did a little bit to change it. It didn't sound like exactly like Seth Rogen, but I really don't think so. I really don't think. I feel like maybe. I don't know, it just worked. I don't know. It worked for several. It worked a little bit for Donkey Kong, but it didn't really sound like a gorilla. It more reminded me of like Donkey Kong from the animated Saturday morning cartoons. Can't think of the name of that show, but with that Donkey Kong voice, where Donkey Kong sounds like I had to find the video. I had to find the video and play it in here, but like he doesn't sound like a big gorilla. He sounds like just a regular dude, and that's what Seth Rogen is, a regular dude. So
come on, Candy. Take you home.
I feel like Seth Rogen kind of did better, but definitely Charlie Day as Luigi was the one thing that's like, storyline wise, storyline simple. It's not that I disliked it. It's just like it's one of the things that like, okay, it's a simple storyline. It's legit, literally them going to take down Bowser and recruit the army kind of thing. We need to recruit an army to face Bowser. That storyline that you've seen in other movies, that nothing about this movie story-wise is going to change anything. But as far as like bringing Super Mario to the big screen, I think everybody's going to love it. And this is my last thing I didn't like, which is really a nitpick, really, to be honest, was Donkey Kong. Imagine if we did not know Donkey Kong was going to be in this movie, and when you finally see him in this movie, the roof would have blew off the movie theaters. Like, god dang. Like, you'd be like, maybe they might do this, maybe they not. And then they don't do it, and you're like, oh. But if they did, you're like, oh my gosh. Like, just imagine if they didn't do Donkey Kong in the trailers, or didn't do him, like, didn't let you know Seth Rogen gonna play Donkey Kong. Just imagine that. Imagine them keeping it on a wrap. In a perfect world, they kept it on a wrap, and then when they show it, they kind of did the whole, all right, everybody, this is Thor, and get ready for our champion, the incredible, like the whole Hulk scene, and Thor goes, yes, like, imagine it would have done that with this movie, without telling you he was in this movie, and you hear the music, so good. Would have been so good. But that's such a thing for me. I think this movie's great. I think everybody's gonna love this movie. And I think Sonic the Hedgehog really opened the gateway up for this movie. This is Nintendo's time to swing at the plate and see what they can make out of this. And I think for a fact that I know the critic scores are kind of crazy right now, but I don't understand why. It's a kids movie, a movie made for kids, with everybody in their 30s and 40s who play video games to, appreciate. So I don't understand the dislike behind this movie, like what are these people expecting? Super Mario Brothers movie. Alright, let's go ahead and get into cast details and information like that. So the movie is an hour and 32 minutes long, which I think is great. There's one part in the movie where I was kind of like looking at the time like, okay, where are we at? Because I feel like we just finished Act 2 and we're about to go a little further. Where are we doing here? The movie's rated PG. Director is Aaron Horvath, Michael Jellikin, and Pierre Leduc. Writers Matthew Fogel. The cast here, or let's talk about budget. I don't think we'll have any kind of information regarding the box. Oh wow, we got box office. We don't got budget yet. So box office, just opening weekend, this movie has grossed $113,000 just opening weekend. I don't know what the budget for the movie is so far. We probably find out much later. And characters. So we got Chris Pratt as Mario. I think Chris Pratt is fine. He really grew on me as Mario throughout this movie. At first, when I first heard his voice in the trailer like a year ago, I was like, but no, he really has done a good job for me. And I feel like he's solid. Anya Taylor-Joy. I had messed her whole name up. I call her Anna Joy Taylor. Anya Taylor-Joy. She was fine at Princess Peach. I thought she did a good job as well. No complaint. Princess Peach really was that character in this movie who's like, I'm the fighter, got to defend everybody, I'm going to war, let's go. Are you ride or die with me, Mario? Okay, you are, let's go. Versus Mario's kind of character like, what is going on here? All right, I'm gonna team up with Princess Peach to beat this Bowser dude and save my brothers, let's go do this. Charlie Day's Luigi. Luigi is the scaredy cat character that he always is. Play Luigi Mansion, he's that same guy. Again, saved by Mario all the time. Like, he was fine. Jack Black as Bowser, phenomenal. Jack Black is great as Bowser, menacing, great work, like just A++. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, I think Seth Rogen is fine. He did a good job as well. Like Donkey Kong, solid character, good work. Michael Keegan Key as Toad, I like Michael Keegan Key as Toad. I think he did a good work as well. Toad, just that guy pretty much in this movie. Like the reason why he's there, well, I guess I'll talk about that in the spoiler, but I think he did a good job. And Michael Keegan Key didn't sound like himself. He sounded like another character. So, or Keegan Michael Key. Why am I messing his name up? Keegan Michael Key to sound like a different character. So good work to them. Any other thoughts? Real quick, before I go into that. Why is it Keegan Michael Key on top cast on IMDb? I was sitting here looking for him for a solid moment. I was like, I know his name, but I try to make sure I said it right. So I messed up his name, Keegan Michael's Key name, and then I messed up Anya Taylor-Joy's name. I call her Taylor Anna Taylor-Joy. Anyway, sorry guys, sorry. But yeah, Keegan Michael Key is not a top cast character in this movie. That's kind of disappointing on IMDb. He should be, for sure. Anyway, any other thoughts? No, I really don't have any other thoughts for this movie. I think the animation is solid. I like the world building. I like the traveling of the world, all of the video game reference they put in this movie. I enjoyed it. Now, there is some licensed music in this movie besides the main music score, which I really enjoyed. There is licensed music in this movie that, to me, when I was watching in theaters, I was like, this is a kid's movie, but this movie came out 30 years, 40 years before these kids was born. Like, imagine you're a kid born in 2021, or sorry, not 2020, or 2002, or 2001, and watch this movie, and you're like, why's Aha in this movie? Like, it's not a spoiler. It's just like, okay, or I need a hero. I need a hero, something tonight. Like that song, and that song from Kill Bill, dun dun dun. Do. Like those songs are playing in this movie and you're like, who is this for? This is definitely for the 30-year-olds and the 20-year-olds and the 40-year-olds in this audience, because it's not for these kids. That 10-year-old kid had no idea what Kill Bill is right now, and I guarantee you he don't know what a Quentin Tarantino looks like and Uma Thurman looks like right now, so it's not for him. Now, Take On Me by Aha. Take On Me. I love that song with all my heart, but okay. All right. Yeah, other than that, that's my only other thought. That's it. Okay. Is this a Friday night movie? Yes. I think this is a Friday night family movie. Get your kids together. If you, especially if you love video games. If you love video games and you love playing, you love Super Mario, you love the Mario world and everything like that, I think you will enjoy this movie. I don't see you not enjoying this movie. As a Mario fan, you will enjoy this movie. If you're a Nintendo fan, you will enjoy this movie. I don't know what the critics are talking about, but this movie is a fun family flick. Grading time. I'm going to grade the Super Mario Bros. 2023 movie. I'm going to grade the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I'm giving the movie a B-. It gives it 80% for me. And the reason why, because the animation is good. I think the cast is solid. The story is a basic story. And there's licensed music that don't really be put into it, but all the video game references in here. And I talked about stuff out of it, like if I was a non-video game fan, I didn't like video game movies, but my kids love video games, take them to this movie, I think they would enjoy it as well as far as animation. People like the Minions. Like, this movie, I think, would do fine with families as well. I don't think the mom or dad who can't stand video games go watch this movie and be like, no, the story about, you know, getting knocked down, get back up, that still works for kids. That still works for me as somebody who's trying to work hard for his family, work hard for her family. So I think that will definitely make it the movie B-. Is it better than the Sonic the Hedgehog movie? The first one, if it builds off video game movie in that sense, I'll say yes. But the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is more of live action with animation in it, so it's not fair to really, you know, judge the two together. But I think as video game movies go and animation movie go, because it's not a live action, it's animation, I think they're the same. I think they're the same. I think I gave Sonic the Hedgehog a C+, if not a C, like it's an average movie with like the story you've seen before. The animation in this movie just really is really good animation. That's why I give this movie B-. Because other than that, if animation was nothing you've seen before, or stuff you've seen before, and you're like, okay, well, it doesn't look that good of a movie animation-wise, it looks like a basic movie, I'll probably give this movie a C. But no, it gets a B- for me. Alright, let's check out what IMDb gives this movie. IMDb gives this movie a 7.4 out of 10, which that's a C. Rotten Tomatoes gives this movie, which I'm not really sure why I break off Rotten Tomatoes. The critics give this movie a 56%. And the audience gives this movie a 96%. So that's a huge difference there between the critics and the audience. So the audience gives this movie an A, solid A, and the critics give the movie an F. So yeah, I don't know. To me, not sure what the critics are about. I'm going to jump to that in the spoiler section because I really want to read some comments. But that is my grades, a B- at 80%. If you've seen the new Super Mario Brothers movie, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys next episode movie breakdowns. In the spoiler section, we're going to hop into it in 3, 2, 1. Alright, here we go. Spoiler time for the Super Mario Brothers movie for 2023. So, video game reference wise, like you're gonna see video game reference from the movie, or from like Super Mario 64, if I said the movie, but Super Mario 64, you're gonna see references from Super Mario Sunshine, references from Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, 3. All the video games, you're gonna see all the references. There's a I think Yoshi's in the trailer. You'll see Yoshi in this movie, a herd of Yoshis in this movie. The movie actually has 2 after credit scenes. I missed one of them. I left early not thinking anything of it, but apparently there's a Yoshi egg at the end of the sewer as the very last one, and then there is a one with Minnie Bowser singing about Peaches, so who's in love with Peaches. The movie starts off in Brooklyn, New York, so they actually are Brooklyn. They're in Brooklyn, New York, and they're legit real plumbers in New York, and they're trying to make it by. And then an incident happened where plumbing is like flooding the city of New York. Mario and Luigi try to go save it. And Luigi and Mario get transported to the Mushroom Kingdom and pretty much the Super Mario, the universe that Princess Peach and Bowser lives in. Luigi gets sent to Bowser's Dark World or Dark Lands, and Mario goes to Princess Peach's Mushroom Kingdom. And how they got in the situation, they both got a job. So Mario's dad in this movie is to always say that Mario's bringing Luigi down, Mario's dragging Luigi with him, and Luigi for the most part, besides like the opening stuff and the beginning stuff, but when they get to the Mushroom Kingdom, he's not with Mario. He's pretty much captured the whole time with Bowser, and then the whole Luigi Mansion situation. But Luigi doesn't really learn how to be strong. He's still a weak character, but with his brother, he can have a little courage and fight back. And there's a scene where Luigi thinks about when his brother saved him as a kid, and Luigi kind of just thinks like, oh, but he didn't like play on that. It was like there's a part of it where that storyline kind of was there, and it gets dropped for more Donkey Kong and Mario, who had this bromance thing, or this like rival, not bromance, but more of a rival thing where they like, which is funny because they actually play against each other in the Jumpman series. But this rival thing that you have in the video game that's there in this movie as well, and they kind of like team up and have like a moment like, hey man, you saved me, I saved you, we're even, we're cool, we're rivals, but let's work together, which is a pretty cool scene where they're like fighting bad guys together and they're teaming up together. But Luigi doesn't really get that moment to shine, so like the whole storyline of like brothers being brothers and saving each other's back and got each other, I'm gonna stand strong for my brother and I'm gonna support my brother, that doesn't hit as much. The basic storyline of let's save the kingdom, let's save my brother, works. That works. It's simple. Bowser's storyline, you get a little behind Bowser why he's always capturing Princess Peach, which everybody knows. Like in this movie, he wants to make her his wife. Like, he wants Princess Peach to marry him, and he's like, I'm a good dude, Princess Peach, just God help me, and we'll rule the galaxy together. And so Bowser has a whole, song montage in this movie because Jack Black loves to sing, so they give Bowser some singing things. Of course, he listens to rock music, and then he has a moment where he's playing, like, singing a song, Princess Peach. He loves her. He called Peaches, 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 Peaches. Funny little thing there that got me. But Toad is in this movie. Toad, the reason why he's the guy that Keegan-Michael's key character, Toad, because he's a brave Toad. Like, he's like, I'm gonna set up a fight. I don't care. Mario's my friend. Let's go kick butt together. So that's why Princess Peach picks that Toad specifically, because he's brave enough to stand up and fight, while other Toads usually run away. But he's there just kind of like, more comic relief moments in the movie. Princess Peach is a serious character that doesn't really have much jokey stuff. There's training montages you see in the trailer where I think it's I Need a Hero. That song is playing. They play at the end of the movie Little Big Blue Sky. I can't think of the name of the song right now. It's from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, the opening song. That song is played in the movie, which you're like, okay, sure. And for me, with the licensed music that made me think about this movie, it's like Chris Pratt is in this. He's in Guardians of the Galaxy. He has licensed like all 80s and 70s music in those movies because that's where he was raised up on. That's all the music he listened to. It was like, it's almost fit to Take On Me, Waiting for a Hero. It's all being played in these movies with Chris Pratt in it, because like Guardians of the Galaxy, Chris Pratt, Mario Brothers, why not throw 80s music in it? Maybe Chris Pratt loves 80s music and that's why they keep using it. I don't know. But yeah, that is definitely tossed into this movie again. Few other stuff, because most of the stuff is just really simple stuff. When Donkey Kong arrives in this movie and they play DK, Donkey Kong, like I popped in the movie, I was like, let's go. Cause I wanted that when he showed up. I was like, yes, like this is what I wanted to hear. Cause I wasn't like, they're gonna do the music. They've been doing all the Mario music. They've been doing all the Super Mario Brothers music, all that stuff. Like, are they gonna do DK Donkey Kong? And when they like Donkey Kong, DK Donkey Kong. Now I just wish they did not show him the trailer. Cause they didn't show him the trailer. That would have been a more epic moment. But it's cool. I think kids gonna pop. Kids gonna love it. Good work. Mario power-ups based off pretty much how in the game works. You hit the box and you get your power-up and you get the big Mario or little mushroom Mario. Cat Mario's in this movie. Squirrel or raccoon Mario's in this movie. Flying Squirrel Mario is in this movie. You see different stuff in here. They end the movie in Brooklyn and they fight in Brooklyn, so everybody can see the Mario Brothers save the city of Brooklyn. So it shows like how they are actually heroes and not just wannabe trying to be heroes. It's a fun movie. I think it's a fun kids movie, and I just don't understand why the critics are like going on this movie. So let's go ahead and read some critics' comments here. But to me, this movie is a fun movie. It's fun. Have a good time. All right, let's go ahead and get to what these critics are saying. So this critic right here, he said, he gives us a tomato. He goes, Super Mario Bros. Have been one of the most popular video games for nearly 40 years, and watching this joyous, colorful concoction, it's easy to see why. All right, he gave it a tomato. This person, a top critic, Wendy, that was from Asher Luberto, and this is Wendy ID. She goes, a frantic Easter egg hunt of a film that does the bare minimum to please its loyal existing fan base. Bare minimum. This movie just needed to do the bare minimum. The other movie we have was a 30-year-old movie called the Super Mario Brothers movie that was considered one of the worst movies ever made. The bare minimum gets this movie by. What were you expecting? An Easter egg hunt. Yes, there's a bunch of Easter eggs. Like Nintendo is plastic. There is a Kid Icarus video game in this movie. Jumpman is in this movie, like an arcade game. Like, of course, there's gonna be a bunch of stuff from all Nintendo in this movie and stuff you're gonna see because the fact that it's a Super Nintendo movie. It's like one of the first ones that we gotten in a long time. So, of course, they're gonna plaster in here so people from the age of 30s will have something to enjoy and be like, okay, they didn't really do much different with the Mario storyline. All right, let's go from Jeff Mitchell here. The Super Mario Brothers movie is super nostalgic, but not super fun. Granted, I haven't regularly played home video games since NBA Jam circa 1995. You're going to a video game movie. What would you expect it? Okay, here we go. Kenneth R. Moorfield. I wasn't expecting Pixar, but the heroes end where they started, not just haven't been transformed by their appearances or learn anything from them. I wasn't expecting Pixar, but the heroes end where they started, not having been transformed by their appearances or learning anything from them. That's true. I will say that. Well, Mario learns. Well, he keeps getting up. He gets knocked down. So Mario in the movie gets knocked down constantly. He gets knocked down constantly, gets back up. Knocked down, gets back up. Knocked down, gets back up. Knocked down, gets back up. But it's like pretty much the character Mario is Naruto. Wow, that is a very big comparison there. I never thought. This opened up some new my eyes. Naruto, Mario. Anyway, both characters actually both learn to just don't give up, keep fighting. And Mario, as a video game player, when you playing video games, you play Mario, you're gonna fall the first time. You fall again. You might fail a level 4 or 5 times, but then you'll get back up and keep until you finally beat it. And that's what Mario represented. He represented determination. He represented finish the game, do not stop. And he get knocked down multiple times, and Princess Peach like, wow, you just keep getting back up, and you keep fighting back. He's like, I didn't think that was a trait, a good thing until now. It in the movie shows that. Yeah, the characters don't change or anything about them. It's world changing, but Mario itself is not really a world changing. Like, he just goes, saves the princess, goes save Luigi, call it a day. Steve, okay, this person, Alan French, he goes, leaning heavily into nostalgia, Super Mario Bros. Movie delivers fun action sequences. However, an over-reliance on Easter eggs and pop music dampens the fun. That's fair. That's fair. He gives the movie a 6 out of 10. He gave the movie that Kenneth R. Moorfield do give it 1 out of 4. I don't know how these works, but okay. Stephen Warner goes, so much of the action in Super Mario Bros. Movie is predictable on the gameplay itself, or predicated on the gameplay itself, which certainly makes sense in theory, but is rendered here with all of the subtlety of a barrel-throwing gorilla. Consistency be damned. So he's upset that the movie doesn't stick with the side scroller stuff like he did in the beginning of the movie. It changes, yes, different fight scene changes. One scene is side scroller, another scene is the Rainbow Kart Road from Mario Kart, another scene is DK's World, another scene you're on a training montage similar to the Mario video game, another scene, the ending fight scene is like almost like a regular day action movie. This wasn't that much of a, side scroller video game. It's almost like a different style of video game fighting, a different style of movie fighting like you see in the animation movies. So it's these critics, I don't know, I guess they expected too much. This guy, Mark McPherson, Mario animated movie debut is too safe and passive. More content with referencing its source material than playing with it. It's the first movie. It is literally the first movie. All you need to do is get butts in seats and have people say they enjoyed the film. I do not understand why people was are you expecting a Marvel-like movie and are you expecting Endgame? Infinity War? It's a Super Mario movie. It's not from Sega. It's not the world of Shrek. It is not a Pixar movie. It is purely a Super Mario Brothers movie, Nintendo's first movie. It literally says Nintendo. I don't know. I feel like people try to be like, I don't know what you're expecting. It's their first movie in 30 years. What were you expecting? They're doing a reboot to make it safe. Of course they're making it safe. Of course they're making it safe. Alright, that's my spoiler recap of the Super Mario Brothers movie. If you see the Super Mario Brothers movie for 2023, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys next episode of Movie Breakdowns and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all and keep being awesome.